Oh, here we go. What? That is not the drop, but it will work. We are here and we are back. Get your angle sports. Still working out the kinks. Still working out the kinks in the show. Anyways, yeah, we are live. Get your angle sports. And we are looking at the top stories of the day. And we're going to start it off with, well, let's start it off with not WNBA, but it turns out that I guess Angel Reese is going to the WNBA. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I saw earlier today that she declared for the draft.
So Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are going to be going to the NBA. Isn't this kind of like a Magic Johnson, uh, Larry Bird kind of story? Maybe that's the way they start off getting some viewers in that disgrace that they call the WNBA.
I guess so. I don't think she's Larry Bird though, or even Magic Johnson. She can't dribble, dude.
Well, we're talking about the dynamic of fans
I
that are
guess
going
like
to follow
story.
her too.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
like brand wise.
exactly. Because you had that thing. He's from French Lick and he's from Michigan, and they're going to the NBA. They played in the finals, and then they finally made it to have these championship games. One in the Eastern Conference, one in the Western Conference. I don't even know, what do they have in the WNBA? Two conferences or what?
I think they have an East and a West. I'm pretty sure they only got like 10 teams. I think
You know, in the old
16
WNBA,
teams.
they just had like the two top teams from the East and the West just play a finals. I don't think there was a playoff if you go farther back. I think that's why Bill Russell won so many. I mean, don't quote
I
me on
think
this, but this
I think they had like 8 or 10 teams when Bill Russell played.
exactly. That's why. But you would think if you had 8 or 10 teams right now, holy smokes, each team would be a superstar team. That would make it harder and more difficult to win a championship, don't you think?
Uh, yeah, the teams would be more stacked, but I guess the talent wasn't as good as it is now. I'm
Well, you
assuming, you know.
Well, you were getting the best talent that was available on each team, right? They were stacking the teams. I don't know. It kind of seems like I don't care if you have 8 or 10 teams in the whole country. You're just going to get the best talent. Maybe it
You would
wasn't a
think so.
profession. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would think. But anyways, Caitlin Clark and Iowa moves on, and Angel Reese, LSU is going home. But what's now they're going to play UConn. And what do you think about that game? You think that's going to be a good game? You think they're just going to go past it and go right to the championship to play South Carolina?
That's probably what it looks like. I know that's what women's basketball want. They want South Carolina and well, I think they want South Carolina and freaking Iowa
Okay.
because
Yeah,
that's like a Final Four rematch, and then obviously they're like, I don't know if they'll pay the refs to get like, hey, like, get
yeah,
Caitlin Clark some fouls, man. We need this for our
yeah,
league.
exactly. They're like, we want Clark and whoever, you know. But I was watching Jamel Hill, and you could just imagine what she was saying. Uh, she was saying that all the women's basketball players, of course, women of color, they got kind of disgrace. They kind of got forgotten because of Clark, and no one's going to remember them. And it's like they were never there. And is she great? Yes, but there were women before her that were even better, and this and that, and they'll be forgotten, erased. She said. But I was kind of thinking like the early NBA, you know, all those like white guys that pioneered the sport, they all kind of got erased when the Michael Jordans and the, you know, all the other players came along, and it's not like you can't turn it around that way. It doesn't really matter who starts the sport, right? It just is where it is. You want to take
Yeah,
it
it's
to
like
higher levels.
it's like in the like women's and MMA. It was like Gina
Yeah,
Carano and Cyborg,
yeah,
and then it was Ronda. Everyone
yeah.
still knows Ronda, you know.
Exactly. And then the women's MMA has never reached the hype of Ronda Rousey so far. It hasn't been able to, but it just took it up another notch. I mean, after Jordan left, there was kind of like a lull in the excitement. And then you got Steph Curry, LeBron, the chosen one, whatever. Maybe Shaq and
Kobe.
Kobe. I forgot about that. Yeah. But like, there's always going to be a ebbs and flows, highs and lows. It's like, Jamel Hill, she's always just like being ridiculous and over the top. So I don't really, take what she says
Her
too much.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always interesting to see what people say, at the extreme points and the extreme levels of this, of sports or politics or whatever, but yeah, it should be a fun Final Four, and I don't think I'll be watching women's basketball after she leaves. Do you think you might keep up in the WNBA?
Oh, probably not. No.
I'm
I,
kind of
I,
curious
I
to see if she owns them, just like she
yeah,
owned the
because
college game.
I guess I would say right now college women's basketball is more popular than the WNBA, right? I would assume so.
I would say easily, hands down, and even the men's game dwarfed that game between LSU and Iowa in the ratings, which is kind of surprising because I thought that women's game would get a high ratings, but apparently still the men's game got way better ratings. Yeah, just people don't care. I mean, you would think the women would show up and just like, oh, we had half of the population supporting the women's college just to, support it. But no, they don't show up, just like for the movies for Miss Marvel or something, right?
Yeah,
The Marvels, I guess. But
yeah. I still haven't.
anyway, you haven't seen the Marvels yet?
No, I don't plan on watching it either.
No, I don't plan on watching it either.
Have
I
you
was,
seen it?
no, and I don't plan on watching it.
Gotcha.
I was watching the review, and there's like a scene where they get to a planet where they have to sing. The communication, the only communication is you have to sing to talk to each other. And I
Ugh.
just even I turned off the review. I was just like, I'm done. That's it. That tells me that like verifies everything I was thinking about this. So I found that to be kind of funny. I just was like, I can't believe it. They played right into my stereotype of what I would expect this movie to be like, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like the Joker, right? You know, you've seen the first Joker, right?
yeah, of course.
And I guess the second one they're gonna make it a musical.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do about that. Even the first Joker was kind of slow, and at times I was kind of like, this is moving kind of slow. This is like the singing and this and that. It's like I don't need all the dancing. It's a little bit epic, but let's get going, And maybe I'm not much for the dramatic, but I like certain movies that are dramatic. A
Yeah,
little
I
bit off
like the
topic,
Joker.
but you know when Joker came out and they were saying, "Oh, people are going to, do terrible things at the theaters."
Yeah,
Well, you ever heard of the movie The Warriors?
yeah, the like 70s. I think it's 70s, right?
Yeah, 70s or
Or is it
80s. It's
80s?
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 80s. But in New York, that it was kind of like that, dirty and grimy at that time, and before it got cleaned up. And apparently, they had the same worries about that movie, and it did actually happen. Like kids would go watch that movie, young people, and then they would leave the theater and they'd go beat up people, and so they actually had to take that movie out of the theaters. So that's kind of interesting that actually happened, and that was like 30, 40 years, and they're pretending like this is the first time it's ever happened, and nothing happened with the Joker movie.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure we would have heard of it, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
they would have plastered it all over the news. But yeah, so let's go to how about the men's college game? Are you pretty excited to see this Final Four? You got Purdue at NC State. So you got the two bigs, Zach Edey and Burns. You got the
Yeah.
Cinderella story. And both Alabama and NC State are kind of Cinderella stories, right?
Yeah, they're both kind of like David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
They're
Do you
playing
think either of them?
I don't think Bama stands a chance. And then I wouldn't mind seeing NC State in the final,
Yeah, that would
but
be super
it's
cool.
but it's a tough order. I guess NC State has a better chance since they're hot, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, because Alabama's win is kind of like tainted. I think Duke had an injury like in the first half that
No, they didn't
it.
play Duke. They played
Who'd they play?
NC State played Duke. They played
Oh,
Clemson.
Clemson. Clemson,
Yeah, they
yeah.
played Clemson.
Well, Clemson. When I watched them play Arizona, I was watching them, and Clemson is just like malnutrition when it comes to offense. I don't know. They just look like they score, but it's like really, really hard. They got a lot of guts and they play strong, but they don't have any significant areas where they excel. And Alabama's just athletic freaks, you know? So
Yeah.
it was kind of like and Alabama's not sleeping like Arizona was. Arizona was kind of like, we're gonna go on this ride and this is fun. We're playing a basketball game, you know, it's cool and everything, you know. But Alabama was like focused. They had their eyes set on the goal. So that's what I like about this Bama team. But UConn, ain't no one beating UConn. Get your money on UConn. Do you guarantee it? I like Purdue. I would because I think it's going to be a better game. But I don't know. From my opinion, UConn looks like a team of destiny. What do you say?
I don't think they're a team of destiny. They're just like a team of we're just gonna smash everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And what do you consider a team of destiny then? I
I
mean,
think
if
it
you,
is like a underdog. Like, oh, it's we were meant to do this. They're just
huh?
like we're just gonna step on all these ants and just we're
Yeah.
taking care of business.
Well, that's what I see. I mean, I see them. You know, like okay, well, I consider it a team of destiny because they won last year, and now they're gonna go back to back. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh man, that's where I get the idea of destiny. But I guess we could argue about what that means back and forth all day. I'm right, you're wrong. Let's go move on. So, what do you think? Who's going to win? Who would you put your money on spread wise? So you got Purdue, Alabama, no, Purdue, NC State, and that's -8. Where are you going? Putting your money.
If, from what everything's gone, since last year, UConn their worst win has been a 13-point win. So the spread's 11.5. If I had a bet, they cover the 11.5 and win by double digits.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not too keen on Alabama. I mean, it's Purdue playing NC State, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I thought that was 8. You're saying that's 11?
No. Oh, I thought you were talking which one was my best bet.
Well, okay. Well, let's start off with this game, Purdue
NC
and
State.
NC State. Yeah.
I'll take the points. Eight and a half, depending where you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then where are you going in the Yukon game?
UConn.
Oof. 11, huh?
11 and a half. Yeah.
I believe there's a statistic that they haven't lost a first half spread in like, I don't know, like 13, 14 games. And they covered last week by 1 point. So it was -4, and at halftime it was 5. So my gosh, yeah, they put it on the first half apparently, and then they've been sitting their starters, both Purdue and UConn. They're just kind of they're just kind of blowing out teams and waiting for the championship. Both teams look like it's two juggernauts, but then you got this NC State team that's having this Cinderella run might put some, put some kinks in the spoke of the machine. But I don't think so. I'm betting Purdue and UConn for sure. Both blowouts. I think the dream is over. So
it's not a
yeah, this is time. This is the real deal. These are the real teams. I think these are the only two real teams, solid teams of the whole thing. Don't you think?
yeah. It was either these two and Houston. They've always been like top, you know, playing hot potato with the number one seed the whole year.
But Houston was kind of like kind of had its flaws too. They had no like number one. They were just kind of a team, kind of like that Baylor team that won how many years ago, like 5 years ago or something like that. That Baylor team, do you remember them?
I think it was like they beat Gonzaga. I think it was like 2 years ago,
Oh,
two,
freak. I
3 years
can't.
ago.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was like 2, 3 years ago where they spanked Gonzaga.
I know Villanova won, and but that Baylor team, any NBA players?
I think the only NBA player is like that Kings point guard, the short one, who's like their like third or fourth point guard now.
Interesting.
I think that's about it that I could remember.
That team was just ridiculous. It was just like
They just had a
full
lot of
court
depth.
press. Yeah, full court press, interchange your players, and that's what that Houston team reminded me of. It wasn't really anything special, and uh, you have these players on UConn and Purdue that can kind of take over. So that's what I like. But other than that, let's go over to NBA. Did you happen to catch the Warriors and the Mavs?
Yeah, I didn't watch the first half, but I watched the second half.
Okay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it turns out that it was a close game. Luca went off. I think he had like what 40 points or something. But
Yeah, he had like a 40-point triple double.
yeah, and then the Warriors still pulled it out with a 1 point win. So that tells you something about what does that tell you about this Mavs team? Is anything significant?
Ah, they just need Luca and Kyrie to go off, and that's pretty much what
Yeah,
they are. Those two go off, but the Warriors, Wiggins showed up. He had a good, and they all had a good game. You know,
yeah. And you got to think this means a lot more for the Warriors than it does the Mavs. But
the
still,
Mavs, yeah,
the Mavs are right there on the border of the playing game. I don't think anybody wants that playing game. That has to be something.
yeah. If you're the Mavs, yeah, you'd rather be the sixth seed and then not have to worry about playing either the Nuggets or
Yeah,
just stay away from the Nuggets.
I don't want any piece of that playing game. It's just like if you catch the middle, it's
Well,
perfect.
I think right now they're the five seed, so they play the Clippers. You
Mm,
kind of want to play the Clippers instead of going down to 6 or 7.
I think you want to play OKC or Minnesota rather than that Clippers team. You get those other teams, those experienced Clippers teams. There's a reason that the odds have the Clippers so high to win a championship because if they're healthy, they win. They win. They can. They know how to win. They've been there, and you could just feel it when they're on the court. So I feel like they're pulling a Patrick Mahomes and a Chiefs where they were just like, let's get there, and then let's do our thing. Because look, because you got Paul George hungry, wants that ring. You got Harden hungry, wants to prove himself, and I don't think you have a hungrier Harden ever. And Kawhi's like, hey guys, jump on my back. So,
Yeah, but
do
he's
you think
hurt right now.
is he coming back?
Kawhi,
Yeah,
that
he's an
guy is
anomaly.
yeah, you have
And
no idea.
and Westbrook's out too, right?
He
He
broke
broke his arm.
his hand or something like that.
He was pretty insignificant, anyways, at this point.
Yeah, yeah, but they have him coming off the bench.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I think Kawhi is going to be healthy. You know how he is. He's like, I'll
He's
play
probably
come
healthy right
playoffs.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, he'll
yeah,
come. No. The only problem is he'll play in the playoffs. He'll be like,
yeah,
man, he looks fantastic, and then
yeah,
next thing you know, he's out, and it's like,
yeah,
here we go.
yeah. Speaking of, well, speaking of injuries, Joel Embiid is coming back. He will be in the playoffs. He's in the playing game. It's possible. I don't think we're going to see. We could see a first round with the Celtics and the Sixers. Holy smokes!
Or
That's
or even
that's crazy.
e- or even or even the Bucks and the Sixers.
Fine. I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I want to see a first round with the Sixers and a healthy Joel Embiid. He didn't play yesterday, but I think he's going to play the next game. Uh, I don't know if it was Sunday or yesterday, but he was supposed to play and then they called him out. But he's ready to play in a game before the playoffs, and obviously he needs to get those games in just to get healthy. He's probably not going to restricted minutes or something, but bro is hungry. You wouldn't come back unless you were hungry, right?
yeah. I saw he got like a. I saw yesterday or 2 days ago he got like a brand new like Skechers shoe deal.
Wow, wow,
It's
that's
like,
interesting.
man,
Sketch,
that's
yeah,
Skechers.
yeah. Their
He's
Sketcher, no,
definitely like a.
Skechers has Jack Harlow. They got like Kawhi
They got
Leonard.
no. The Skechers has Kawhi Leonard. I thought he was like with like Asics or New Balance.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of New Balance, right? Jack Harlow and Kawhi had that commercial with New Balance, but Skechers had a commercial recently, and I saw it was a whole bunch of players. I was kind of surprised to
I
see.
think they have like Joe Montana or something.
What the freak? Okay, yeah. If you're like 100 years old, all right. It's like, oh, Joe Montana wears Skechers. It's like Joel Montana and Joel Embiid. It's like they got nothing in common. It's so weird. Yeah, maybe they get like Wayne Gretzky too. Hey, where are your Skechers? Hey, I don't know if he's Canadian or whatever,
They're
but
like they get Larry Bird. It helps with my back problems.
I just saw Larry Bird in a commercial. I can't remember. He's in the attic or something. Oh, the insurance commercial. Anyways, it don't matter. Uh, So what were we talking about? So Joel Embiid playing the Celtics in the first round. My goodness, that would be so exciting. That would bring the NBA some ratings, I think. That's the first round matchup everyone wants to see. I do like the Hawks, and I'd like to see them go in the second round. Bucks, the
Oh
Bucks.
God.
Oh god, you don't like the Hawks. I know you don't like the Hawks, but they are hungry. They went like 9 for 10 in their last 10 games. So yeah, they are on fire. They're finding who they are. Namaste. And whatchamacallit, Dame Lillard has been out a couple games, so I don't know if he's healthy, but how significant is he? I think they actually lost more games when he's not playing. They usually lose, but they recently won without him. And I like the team without him. I'd like to see Dame come off the bench. But what do I know? What do I know? They got him
That's
there
not.
for the clutch time.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I think they pay him like freaking like 50 or 60 million dollars. Can't have that coming off the bench.
But that's the strangest thing. I always thought that's so weird to hear. I think they pay him to win games. If he plays 5 minutes or he plays 30 minutes and they win the game, I think that money goes to good use. Don't you think?
Uh,
That's the way I think. If I'm a freaking guy who's trying to win, a champion. But
I think they got to play him 30 minutes. He's got to score like 30 points. You bought him to be Batman, not Robin. He's got to be
yeah,
Robin.
yeah. Well, I think he's going to be Batman. Uh, uh,
Oh,
come fourth quarter.
you need him to be Batman or Robin for the 2-3 quarters, and then maybe be Batman down the stretch.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's there is for the clutch factor. That's what I think. I think he's only there to play clutch time minutes, and because that's their big Achilles heel is not being able to score, and they're leaving Giannis triple teaming him. And then what's the other guy's name on Boston? True Holiday. He wasn't able to get those clutch points. Nobody was able. Middleton, he's not able to get the clutch points. Brooke Lopez, where are you going to get the clutch from? So you need Dame time. And
Yeah, because they need him to create a shot because Portis can't create a shot. Brooke
No.
Lopez can't create a shot. Giannis can, but he's going to take it to the rim, and
something
he
bad's
has
going to
trouble
happen.
making free throws sometimes, and then Chris Middleton can make some shots. Sometimes he's hurt, and
Well, Middleton was supposed to be that guy, I believe, but he hasn't progressed to be that guy. So they had to switch it up, and they gave up a huge part of their game, which is True Holiday. And now he's on Boston, which they're going to have to face the Reaper if they make it that far. But I think this Milwaukee team looks very vulnerable. They just got destroyed by the Washington Wizards. Did you see this yesterday?
did they get destroyed? They didn't get destroyed, but they lost.
Oh, they got destroyed. It was ugly. If you watch the game, it just looked like, my gosh, it looked like, so Dame didn't play, and it looked like he didn't play. It looked like they had no offense. And I looked at the roster of the Wizards, and it was just kind of like, this is bad. They shouldn't get destroyed. They should lose. Maybe they lose because they don't really care, but you can't just throw in the towel. You need to keep that mojo going, especially if you're Milwaukee, I think.
Yeah, going
Granted,
into the playoffs.
they already have a championship, and it just doesn't seem like they do, does it? Doesn't it seem like they don't have a championship?
Well, most of the team doesn't. I guess most. Yeah.
Most of the team does. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But well,
He's
freaking
got-
coach that won they got Doc Rivers. He has done anything there.
Yeah.
They got Beverly. They got Crowder. They didn't win anything. Did
No.
Bobby Portis, was he there when they won the championship? I don't
Yes.
remember.
I believe
He
he
was?
was there. Yeah, I believe he was there. I mean, gosh, I'm thinking about it because that was a weird season. That's the year Phoenix made it, right? Yeah, they played in
Yeah.
the championship. It was a weird year. I don't know why. Was it COVID or something? No,
It was the year
'Cause
after
it was-
COVID.
yeah, so it was still weird. People forgot
Yeah,
how to play
because-
basketball a little bit.
Well, that and I don't know if they still had fans in the arenas, or if they did have fans, it was like limited,
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, so I still don't consider them a champion, and they don't feel like a champion. They don't feel like someone who's been there before. Like when the Warriors get there, I'm like, okay, they could turn it on. They got some swag. When Kawhi, I feel like he's got that swag. Like he can win. Holy smokes, when he steps on the court, you know that he's in the arena, and that's really huge when you're in the NBA because a lot of these first round games are nothing. They're really like
Alright.
garbage.
Yeah. All right, so let's see who's on that team that won a championship. Giannis.
Of course.
Uh,
Middleton, Lopez,
M-
they were both there.
Middleton, Lopez, and Portis. That's it.
Not Holiday. Holiday wasn't there. Who else was on that team?
Well, Beverly's not on that team. Gallinari's
course,
not
come
on
on.
that team. Lillard's not on that team.
Oh, I thought you were
That's-
looking at the team that won the championship,
Oh.
and we're going to tell who's on that team, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, basically it was Giannis, Middleton, Lopez, the core. You sure Holiday wasn't there? I feel like they
Well,
had
Holiday
a
was
guard.
there. Yeah, but they don't
Yeah,
have him
yeah.
now.
Yeah. Holiday was huge because I think he kind of shut down Booker.
Well, this is on the team. You got Giannis. You got little Giannis.
Yeah.
You got that Pat Connaughton guy. You got DiVincenzo. You
Yeah.
got Drew Holiday. You got Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton,
Wow.
Portis. You have Jeff Teague.
Oh,
And they
wow.
have PJ Tucker. That's right. They had PJ Tucker.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, PJ Tucker was a huge part of their game plan.
Yeah.
They need PJ Tucker right now. If they had PJ
Yeah.
Tucker and they had Dame Lillard, that would be really nice compliment.
Yeah, because PJ Tucker's a dog. Bobby Portis is a dog, and then you got Drew Holiday coming in, defensively.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think Doc Rivers? He only won a championship with the Celtics. He hasn't done anything else, huh?
No, and I think I saw that they have, like right now, they've lost more games than they did when they had the other coach,
Wow.
and the coach got fired after like what was it, like 30 games or something like that.
Yeah, and you know what? This team doesn't seem like one of those prima donna teams that is like mad at the coach. So I was really surprised that they all, I mean, that they kind of ganged up and like said, "We don't like this coach, man." It doesn't seem like their style. Were
Yeah,
you
I know what
surprised?
you mean.
Were you? Yeah, it's weird, but that's the way it is. So I'm looking forward to seeing. Uh, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Is the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight this weekend?
I don't believe so. I don't think
What do you,
it's till anytime soon, to be honest with you.
I am going back and forth on that. What do you
About
think? Who
what?
do you think? Well, who's going to win?
I think it's just gonna be like a
It's going to be a real fight.
exhibition. I don't
I
think it's
don't
gonna
think
be a
so.
real fight. I think they're
I
just
don't.
gonna it's gonna be like a sparring match, sparring fight.
Wow. I hope not. I mean, I don't want to see. I don't want to see Mike Tyson get knocked out. Boy, that would be the lowest part of his career. Gosh, dang. And I think Jake Paul really has nothing to gain from this. A lot of money, but I don't think he
Yeah, a
has.
lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think he has anything to gain for it boxing wise because you knock him out, you're old. You get beat up with him, it's like, yeah, it's Jake Paul. What do you expect? You know?
Yeah, because I think I saw Mike Tyson for the fight. He was gonna make like 20 million. Um,
Oh wow,
that's a lot of money, man.
that might be a big favor that he's doing to for Mike Tyson. Yeah, he's got to be
Yeah,
like, thank you. No, he's in a ton of debt. So I wonder if he ever got out of debt. Yeah,
he
but
probably
I
he
don't know.
probably filed for bankruptcy or something.
Probably he was like in hundreds of millions of dollars of debt. They said
Yeah.
he had like cars and cars and cars. And speaking of cars and Lamborghinis, what's up with your boy Rashee Rice for
Rishi
the
Rice.
yeah, for the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs? What's going on with that boy?
Oh man, I saw today he issued like an acknowledgement.
Okay,
Yeah. What's kind of
yeah,
funny is because so I guess it was like what I was reading. I guess it
yeah,
was his birthday, right?
okay, yeah,
They're like well, it's not his birthday. I guess this month's his birthday or something, right? Because
yeah,
like there's a wide receiver on the Niners, right?
yeah,
And his name is Danny Gray. He hasn't really
okay,
done anything. He's been on the team for
yeah,
2 years,
yeah.
and I guess he was there because
Oh,
I guess they're both receivers. They both went to
yeah.
SMU, so
Oh,
they're
okay,
like,
that
oh,
makes sense.
let's go to our home Houston or whatever. I guess that's where SMU is, Dallas, wherever.
Yeah, and let's go
So they're
fast.
hanging. Yeah, let's go fast and smash some cars.
Yeah.
So he's probably in big trouble.
I guess it's six cars that got into the accident, and two of them were his, huh?
Well, yeah, one of them was like his, and the other one was a lease.
Yeah. Oof. I hope there's no like. Well, you know what? It's a guarantee there's going to be physical injuries from other people, whether they really are or they aren't. You get in a car accident with an NFL player, it's like, my neck. Oh, my neck. I got the ticket. This is the
Well,
ticket.
especially if there's a dash cam, it's like, oh no, it was just like a regular accident. It's like, have you seen the
Yeah.
video?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I haven't seen the video. I'm gonna have to check it out after this.
It's pretty bad. It's like, oh Jesus.
They were going like 100 or something.
Yeah, they're going through 100, and you just see like a car just going dash cam, and then you see a bunch of cars just fly right in front of it and crash.
Ooh, that's not good. Gosh dang. What?
Yeah, he's probably gonna have to pay his next year's salary. Is probably gonna go towards that Lamborghini.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
because I saw in the contract it said that like because he leased the Lamborghini, where he's the
Okay.
only person that's allowed to drive the Lamborghini.
Ooh, gosh dang. I would think so. If you're leasing it, there's got to be a
Like rules,
whole bunch of
especially a
stipulations.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And
So
what do you?
he's gotta have to pay the Lamborghini. Like you gotta buy us a new one.
Yeah. Do you think there will
I don't
be
know.
any like consequences with his team, with the Chiefs?
Ah, freak. I guess
It's just
innocent
a bit,
until proven guilty, but
yeah, allegedly.
yeah, but he yeah, I guess he'll probably get in a little trouble. I guess they won't trust him anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you get in trouble for car accidents unless you killed someone or something, right? Even then, I've seen those players back on team, and he's their best receiver, right? As of now.
Yeah, yeah, him and Sidney Moore or Sky Moore.
Yeah, so I don't think you can really. Well, you got Kadarius Tony, don't you?
Ooh, they ooh, the Chiefs were probably like, damn it, why couldn't it have been Tony?
Yeah, yeah. But what I was going to say is, I
What?
just read a story about the Kansas City Chiefs looking and the Royals looking to move from Kansas City because there was a sales tax thing that was supposed to be voted on, and it was voted down. And now they're not going to get the money to repair the stadium, so it'd have to come out the pockets of the owners. So I don't know if they're playing games. They're probably playing games, and
They're
like,
playing games.
because I couldn't imagine Kansas City going anywhere. Maybe the Royals, like, okay, fine, but
They're,
the Chiefs,
they'll 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 get it done. It's kind of crazy if you think about it, because like if you're gonna well, first of all, I don't know why they're trying to get money out of the team or the city. Just pay for it for yourself, and then you don't have to rely on the city. And then you like, yeah, you got to invest some money, but then like down the road, they'll you make all the money.
you're
You don't have
speaking
to
like a
share it.
normie. The rich people, they don't live like that. That's not how they live. You know what I mean?
No,
They
but that's
borrow the
it's
money, they make money, and then they borrow more money. You know?
yeah, but you get to keep the money. You invest the
Uh,
money now, and then you keep it like the
yeah,
Warriors.
yeah,
When you go watch Jennifer Lopez or Justin Timberlake, they
yeah.
keep that money. They don't share that money with Oakland. Say with the Niners, Taylor
There
Swift
must,
comes or Ed Sheeran, that's our
yeah,
money. You buy beer,
there must,
that's our money.
there must be a reason because they all do it.
It's
And you know
cheap.
what? It's interesting because McDonald's does the same thing. Every McDonald's is owned by McDonald's Corporation, the land. So
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting. They follow that philosophy that you're talking about, but not in the NFL,
Well,
except
that the
maybe Green
Rams did.
Bay, right?
The
Isn't it Green
Rams,
Bay?
the Rams. That's what he did. He Stan Kroenke. He bought the land. He paid for everything, and now everything that happens in that L.A. stadium, he's like, "That's my money. Hey, Chargers, you want to come here? You could borrow it, but this is my stadium. I get all the money. Chargers don't get
Oh,
any. They don't get any money from it.
if you ask me, LA is a little bit more of a risky stadium because the teams come and go. And if you're in somewhere like Green Bay, you know, that's the only thing you got, you know, so that's always
Yeah,
going to be supported. So Kansas
but
City, that's always going to be there, you know?
another thing which is like you should invest just invest in it, because it's not like they'll be like, I don't know if we want to go. They're gonna go to
Yeah.
the games. It's not like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't. It's not like it's not like a restaurant where it's like, I don't know if the fans, the people are gonna like the food. They like the
Yeah.
food. They're gonna go every week. You're making, and then you're going on the little run. You know.
Yeah. 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 So,
And then and then another thing I thought was kind of weird. So the Kansas City, they're saying no to it, right? The
of
fans there.
course, of
And then
course, yeah.
and then on the other side of the state, the Rams, when they try to get their stadium, the fans are like, "Hey, we'll give you this much money, we'll give you that money," and he's like, "Nah, screw
Nope.
you guys."
Yeah, yeah. That is funny. They couldn't keep their team, but St. Louis, I don't know. It's pretty bad there. I don't know if you want to. And I don't know how big St. Louis is either, but everybody I talk to tells me that it's like going down, and I don't know what you want to have there, but it might be like a really big town, or kind of like Chicago. Chicago's huge, and you'll never see the side that's really bad if
Some
you walk through.
areas,
Yeah, Los Angeles is huge, and even in San Francisco, where they have the Warriors play, it's like their own little town inside San Francisco. It doesn't connect to the rest of San Francisco. They're cut off from like all the poor and everything, and they got like these high towers that all the people who go to the games just live in. So it's ridiculous. You can't even, it's a whole different area.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got all the piers and crap.
Exactly, exactly. Well, it's far from the piers, actually. It's like it's just its own little town, and they even got like river that kind of cuts it off. So it's really strange. But that's what they did, and it's probably really smart because the people living in those high tower buildings probably filthy rich, right?
Yeah, and then they use the Giants. They use the Giants parking lot too. You don't even have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
rent the parking lot.
You know what? They probably used like the Warriors facilities as like amenities at their high tower raised buildings. It's like, oh, I'm going to work out, and it's like, hey, Steph. It's like that's the kind of money they dealing with, you know. He's got the techies, I'm sure they got like the head of Uber or something lives in that building. But let's talk about the trade of the day. Yes, sir. We're talking about yes.
3-pointer. Bang! Bang!
We're talking about the home run trade. That's the Bills trading Stephon Diggs to the Houston Texans for a second round pick. And the second round pick is not this year, it's next year, 2025. Yeah, so they get nothing. They're just getting rid of Stephon Diggs, and it's a fire sale. I'm going to ask you a stupid question. Who's the winner in this trade?
Well, freak, man. Like, because I thought if they would have kept Stephon Diggs, the Bills, they would have. He would have count 28 million towards the salary cap, and
Wow.
since they traded him, now it's 31 million. So they're paying $3 million more to have him off the team,
Wow.
and they don't. And they had to give a fifth. Was it a fifth and a sixth or a sixth and a seventh?
A fifth and a sixth.
So then they even gave some picks.
So they have to pay $3 million more. They're giving up their best wide receiver and a fifth and a sixth, and they're getting back a second round pick that next year. Holy moly! I mean, I don't even know what to say. This should be illegal. And if this were in the NBA, the commissioner would have said, "Nope, you can't do this. You can't do this to a team."
Well, I guess
He would have
in the
nixed
NBA,
it.
they'd be like, "Oh, it's like a
Salary
trading
dump.
for like a salary dump for
Yeah,
like an expiring contract." I guess that's about it.
yeah, but this should be illegal. This should be like under some kind of law that you can't do this. It just doesn't make any sense.
They must be that tired of Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Well, I think his brother or his family, someone in his family and Diggs' family said, "Oh, you guys messed up. You guys messed up big time, but you're not going to get rid of your quarterback. You're going to get rid of whoever else. I don't care who it is. It's wide receiver, halfback, cornerback, free safety. You're going to get rid of that person, and you're going to keep your star quarterback. I don't care. It does.
Yeah.
It's just that's what it is,
Well, that's
never
what kind of happened with him with
when he was with the Vikings and he got tired of Cousins and everyone and he
Yeah.
wanted out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's just a wide receiver business.
yeah, that's true. That is true. That's the one position where they're all like divas. There should be a better name for that. They shouldn't be called divas. It should be more of a male name. It's and then prima donna. What would be the word that's more masculine for what they do? They're just like, but that's the way it is with all receivers. It's just ridiculous. They just want the ball. They're always open. They do want to do a dance when they score a touchdown. It's just the wide receiver position is a different breed, that's for sure. And and what else? So the GM for the Bills said, we are not better because of this trade." So that's kind of funny that he comes out and admits that. But what else
I
are you
don't know
gonna
if
say?
you should say that. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
we just had our. I think that's. You could say some BS politician stuff. I don't think you want to say that.
this mother effer. We talked about everything. We talked about women's basketball. We talked about hockey. We talked about everything. Just waiting for Ace to come on and talk about football, and he's right on time. We just started, so we were talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, blah blah blah. But now we just got into the trade, and the GM for the Bills said, uh, "We are not better because of this trade." Do you think that's good for him to say? You think it's obvious, or you think that's he should be politicking?
Sorry, dude. I had some stuff come up.
No, 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 no. Go ahead. Yeah.
What's up, Professor?
What's up?
What were you saying?
We're saying that Stephon Diggs, yeah, the GM for the Bills, he said that we are not better because of this trade.
I don't know. I think it's stupid. If you're a leader, right, you want to make the best out of everything that you can. I would say. I don't like, even though, I don't know. I'm torn because you don't want them to bullshit you, but they got a
Yeah,
second round pick for him. To me, that's pretty good
yeah,
because like Randy Moss got traded for nothing.
yeah.
What did not Hopkins, the guy from whatchamacallit get traded for from Arizona? What was his name? Yeah, Hopkins, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hopkins, yeah, that's right.
I don't think he got
Yeah,
traded for much. And then also the
yeah.
last big receiver was probably the guy from Tennessee, and he got traded
How about
for
Devonte Adams? Didn't he get traded for basically nothing, like a third
no, he
round
was
pick or something?
I think he was a
I
free
think it was
agent.
like I think it was like 2 twos or something.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah,
But no, I
but
mean I don't think it was much because
Professor,
Hopkins. I mean,
yeah,
go ahead, go ahead.
Professor was saying that the Bills actually have to pay $3 million. They gave up a fifth and a sixth round pick, and they give Diggs. In return,
Right.
they get a 2025 second round pick.
Yeah,
I
the second
mean,
round pick's not for this year. I don't love it, but considering that Diggs was a pain in the ass all year, and that he wanted to get out of there, it's not bad
yeah,
that you got something for him.
he didn't
You
even
got a
show up
second
in the
round.
playoffs either. It was
Yeah.
really sad.
You
Yeah,
got a second round pick for him. That's not bad. You could get in this year's draft, that would have been a hell of a
yeah.
pick. Because
Oh yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
big receiver draft, which, yeah, you're not going to get a receiver for receiver, but this draft, the receiver is deep, and that's not always the case. So I would have loved if they could move that pick into this year. That'd be great for somebody
Well,
who's somebody who doesn't have picks. Is it Chicago? Someone has like two good picks, and then they don't have picks after that.
probably the Browns, right? Probably the Browns don't have many picks. They gave up a lot, and Denver probably gave up a lot, right? Those are two
Yeah,
teams that
for
traded
somebody who
a
doesn't
lot
have a
for
lot. So
quarterback.
if you could like trade if you could get back, in
Yeah.
that'd be something good. But I don't know, man. It's
Well,
Diggs is that him and Jared Allen seem super tight, so it's surprising that they kept having problems, and then he bails
I
on them. It's
know.
like, I don't know. To me, I
Well,
don't
he
love it. I like
mentioned
the
that.
Bills. I like what they had, and Diggs is kind of. like most star receivers, right? He's like your prototypical star receiver who's kind of a drama queen, right? But you got to
Yeah,
know
it's
you're a
another.
receiver. He's not. He's on the opposite of his. He's on the wrong side of his prime age. So
Yeah,
I don't expect. Houston did way better and overachieved way over what everybody expected from everything, coach, quarterback, everything. I don't think they'll be
yeah,
as good. I know everyone's running to put money on Houston, but I'm thinking the opposite. There's no way they're gonna achieve what they did. So I'll bet the under on their total.
Yeah.
they'll probably
I
win
wonder what their
they're
total
probably gonna
is.
win.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna win their conference, and their odds got real
Yeah.
shitty now to like win the Super Bowl. But
Exactly.
I mean, adding a star receiver, I mean, they need to be careful with what they're doing there because they have a nice young core. And
Yeah.
the coach is good, but he's a young coach. Like just to assume,
Yeah.
like, okay, because look at the coach they had in Buffalo. He's a hard ass, firm, like a disciplinary guy. And if he couldn't deal with Diggs, you're gonna give him to this young coach who is. I mean, they're at a vulnerable state. Most teams regress in
And
the
young
second year,
quarterback.
and the
Yeah.
coaches regress in the second year. And now everyone knows what you're doing. You're not gonna catch someone off guard. It's easy when you're that old phrase, like it's easy to get an A, but it's hard to keep that A. No one thought
Yeah.
no one expected Houston to be good. Now you're gonna get their A game, and
Oh yeah.
then you add what this guy who could be volatile and break up your locker room, right? They have young receivers too, right? Don't they have a
Nico
Tank Dell?
Collins and
Right.
Tank Dell. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they get this fucking guy who could ruin your locker room, and then once you ruin the locker room, that's exactly what happened to Buffalo. They had a great locker
Yeah.
room, and then it started being shit the last few years. And I don't know. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction. I don't like that the GM said that. I mean, you're a GM. If I'm a GM, my job is to spin shit
Exactly.
and turn it better, and say, hey,
Yeah.
sometimes when you're running a sprint, you got to take a step back to go forward. And sometimes it is addition by subtraction. And if your locker room could get better, that's worth more to me sometimes.
Absolutely. What do you think, Professor?
Well, the trade, I'd like you said, I would have liked to get a second round pick this year. A year from now, that kind of sucks. Unless you're able to use it, trade it for something.
Yeah. Well,
And
let me
then,
ask you.
obviously,
Let me ask you. So, do you think Buffalo is in rebuilding? That's it. They're in rebuilding.
no, they
I
have the
think
best quarterback in the division.
they have one of the best
Who's going to
quarterbacks,
beat them? Tua? Whoever the
Yes.
Patriots draft, or no? They still got the best quarterback in the
When-
division.
Yeah, they have a good team, and when you have a top quarterback, you're never really in rebuilding mode. I mean, I
Who-
think they should have fired the coach last year, definitely
Okay.
this year, and
Yeah.
and save that core, save that quarterback, like what the Chargers did. I was gonna call them San Diego. What the Chargers did,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to waste years with the elite quarterback, and that's what they're doing right now with Allen. They, I mean, I think they're. I think this talent wise, no, this doesn't make them better. It'd be stupid if you said yes, but locker room, yeah, that could be, and
Maybe.
and
Yeah.
Allen's still young. Where this second round pick, that could be an offensive line, that could be a defensive end, that could be for sure be a starter, that could be a wide
Okay.
receiver. Or they get a wide receiver this year. What's their number one pick this year?
28.
20.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a quarterback top heavy draft where some shitty quarterbacks are going to go higher than better receivers. So, I mean, they could get easily one of the LSU guys, the Texas wide receiver, right? I love the Washington fucking wide receivers. So, and they
I
could
think-
get that with their first round pick this year, because they're going to be a lot of receivers there still.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know who they're going to get, but they need to get a wide receiver. And the professor was saying maybe 2 receivers.
I think they draft 2 receivers this
Well,
draft.
they lost one of the receivers too, Davis.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis.
Well, right now they got Matt Collins and
Curtis
And
Samuel, and then a bunch
Curtis
of other
Samuel.
names.
exactly. So it's not very good. Yeah.
No, but
And
I mean,
then-
when you
and
have a
then-
quarterback like Allen, I'll be honest, it doesn't matter who your fucking receivers are. When you have Aaron Rodgers, when you have these great quarterbacks, you don't need an elite wide receiver, man. I mean, yes, you'd like to have them, but you don't need them. So
Yeah.
you get good,
yeah.
but yeah, you do need receivers. But they have a good tight ends, right? Who's their tight ends?
Oh,
got the-
Kincaid.
The Utah
Yeah,
guy.
I
The Utah
fucking
guy.
love Dalton Kincaid, and he was a rookie, and he's obviously
Yeah.
he's going to be his go-to target, which most tight ends aren't. He's a young tight end who's like a veteran. Like, I don't know how to say that. He's like a veteran presence, but he's young.
He is.
So you got Kincaid.
Yeah.
They always have running backs by plethora, and Allen's a running quarterback, so I think they'll be fine. I mean, like we said,
And they got a defensive head coach. The defense is still kind of intact. So that should be something that they're going to lean on as usual. But Tua and the Dolphins, I mean, they're only going to get better, I think. They're going to protect him a little bit more. But they're exciting offensively. And then you got the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. You don't know what they what to make of that team. But if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, for 3/4 of the year, I mean, you got a playoff
what
team.
if
He's healthy.
The-
The
the
scary
what
thing with
ifs?
Rodgers is if he's motivated.
What's the what if? Really? I mean, that
No.
team was destined for playoffs.
That team was destined for
Yeah,
Super Bowl,
if
man.
they
With that
stay, if they
defense,
stay healthy.
yeah. If that offensive line could, because Rodgers is healthy, and Rodgers is healthy and motivated. If that line could protect them, yeah, they're a problem because that defense is fucking elite. Them and Cleveland,
Absolutely.
those
And they
are
got a defensive head
generational
coach.
defenses.
Aaron Rodgers is basically the he's
And
the
they should have
OC.
fired their fucking coach too. He's stupid. Rick Solis, a good defensive coordinator, but you're gonna waste this little run you have. You
Yeah.
don't just lose your quarterback and you mail your whole fucking season in.
I think Rodgers is going to be hungry, but like we always say, Professor, every time we get an Aaron Rodgers game and we bet on it at the end, he's a quitter. He quits, he quits, he quits, and you get your money on him. If it's not going his way, he might just go to the back and take some ayahuasca or whatever he does. But he's got the Professor several times. Am I right?
Oh yes, I've seen some fake field goals get against me. I've seen a whole bunch. I've seen it all.
Every time he bets on the Packers or Aaron Rodgers specifically, he knows that the Professor bet on him and he quits right away once the bet goes in. But okay, so Texans. So we kind of talked about them, but their wide receiver core, I
they
think it
added-
improved.
Well, they added Stephon Diggs. They added Joe Mixon. They added Daniel Hunter on the defense.
Wow,
They added
they added a
on
lot.
paper, they're
they
a hell
added
of a team.
that tight end Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
He's all right.
He's
It's
all right.
another
He's nothing
weapon.
big. He's all right.
yeah. Maybe if you put a 2 tight end, single back set, right, and let
I
C.J.
think-
Stroud play. The big question mark is C.J. Stroud. Is he Brock Purdy? Is he able to jump in
Nah,
this thing
CJ
right away?
Stroud he already. What do you mean? Dude, he had the best rookie fucking season ever for a quarterback. It's crazy. But yeah, second year people usually
so
regress,
hard.
So
Yeah, it's hard for me to comprehend and wrap my mind around it. Maybe because I'm a hater of Ohio State quarterbacks too. That might,
well, it's
You know,
not
but
a hater, but I mean, if you look at the history, OU quarterbacks have sucked. He definitely,
Yeah.
he's already done better than every single Ohio State quarterback.
oh, absolutely, absolutely, by
But yeah,
far.
I mean, by history,
But-
he's by far the unicorn and the exception to the Ohio State rule.
But
Who's
the Bills,
best Ohio State quarterback besides C.J. Stroud? Who's the?
Joe Burrow,
I don't even know.
Joe Burrow,
Yeah, but he never
Joe-
played.
he was with them more
Yeah.
time than he was with LSU.
no, come on. Who's the best Ohio State quarterback? I know there's a white
Dwayne-
guy that was.
Dwayne Haskins.
Oof, come on, bro.
Like Terrell
Stop
Pryor.
Terrell Pryor
Justin
did
Fields?
say, "No, man, we have to go back further. We have to go to the
Time
way
was,
back."
Troy,
Troy
might be like
Smith.
Troy Smith.
Troy Smith played for him. He was a really good college quarterback, but yeah, time wise, he stayed in the NFL for a while.
He did. He was a backup. That was the year the Bengals
they-
got that defensive end. What's his name? I can't remember. But-
as far as top flight quarterbacks, yeah, he's by far their best quarterback.
So, what college produces great quarterbacks other than Cal? Cal
More
has more great quarterbacks than.
That's the problem with quarterback. It's such an enigma. It's not like like DBU, right? Florida State or
Yeah.
LSU makes great defenders or something like that. It's hard, man.
Or wide
to make them.
receivers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ohio State makes wide receivers, and so does Bama. Bama makes running backs too, right?
Yeah,
And then
the Bama's
Iowa
had
makes
good
tight
quarterbacks
ends.
lately. They've had
Yeah,
look at
Iowa-
the quarterbacks.
Freaking A. Yeah.
Look at the quarterbacks
What-
Iowa's
what-
had lately.
So who's the best? Where did the best quarterbacks come from? They can just basically come from anywhere, huh?
Right. Well, look at Georgia had Justin Fields and whatchamacallit?
Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford. And they've had
Hmm.
more than that, but that's just the more recent.
Yeah. So Cal had Aaron Rodgers, and they had Goff.
Right.
And
That fucking
did they-
sucks.
Goff is who is still playing and he's playing great. But who else is there? Is there anyone else that came out of Cal?
Not that I could, at the top
Those-
of my head. There's USC, but they usually don't do well.
Yeah, USC for a while had like wonderful, like top rated quarterback who were just stunk. You know, they had JT Daniels. They had I don't remember, but they had like several. They had like 4 in a row who were supposed to be like the next coming, but they just like everything at USC.
I pulled up something. So top 10 Ohio State quarterbacks. We got this is Betway Insider. Number 10 is Cardell Jones. I don't even know who he is.
I remember him.
He won a championship.
Schlichter, 1981. Number 8, Terrell Pryor, which we all think he was good. Craig
Yeah.
Krenzel, Dwayne
Okay.
Haskins 6, CJ
Okay.
Stroud 5,
All right.
Braxton Miller, who he was big at Ohio State but never really did much in the NFL. JT Barrett, same thing, did good at Ohio State, nothing after that. Justin Fields, right?
Yeah.
Number 1 is going to be Troy Smith.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
Number 2, Justin Fields. Yeah.
My gosh, it's like CJ
You know who-
Stroud.
You say who makes quarterbacks, right? I
Yeah.
don't know which team, but if you want to name a coach, it's going to be the coach, Professor. What's his name?
What is it, Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, man.
That's true.
He fixed Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts
Yeah.
was not that good at Alabama. Maybe it was Saban holding him back because he's the defensive coach.
Yeah.
He has Justin Hurts. He has
Baker.
Baker Mayfield,
Baker, Kyler.
Kyler Murray.
So probably
Williams.
Oklahoma, I guess we could say. Oklahoma.
and Williams. No, well, not Oklahoma, because before him, Oklahoma was a traditionally defensive team, like Alabama. So he was the one who aired it out and turned it into that, and he's doing the same at
For like-
USC. So I'd say Lincoln Riley.
That's hard to say. I mean, because the
No, I
coach
mean,
kind of
look at the hand on Lincoln Riley right there. We just
But-
named five quarterbacks that either
fine.
won the Heisman or they were top 5 picks, and you can say what they want about them. They're not washed in the NFL. Even
But
the Arizona,
but it's
quarterback,
not Oklahoma's fault that they had him for like so many years as their coach. It's just the same way as Saban. Are you going to say it's Alabama, or are you going to say it's Saban because Saban was there for a long time? No, you're going to say that's Alabama football.
Okay, but no, because before Lincoln Riley, I can't. But I mean, did Lincoln Riley have what's his name, Chene, who was
Bradford.
Yeah, did he have Bradford too?
I don't know if he was there.
Okay, well if he did, shit, that's another one. But before
Dang.
him, I don't know many quarterbacks. And after
Okay,
him,
look
probably
up
not gonna
top 10
have any.
Oklahoma quarterbacks. Let's see. Let's see right now. That would be very interesting to see if that.
I can't look it up right now.
How'd you look up top
Professor,
10?
look it up. I was not doing something at the moment.
You're the worst. You're the worst.
I couldn't.
Yeah, but I don't know. I might make it to Reno this weekend, and I'm
Okay.
looking at the.
You almost
What's
made it
wrong?
there last weekend.
Are you okay?
I'm great.
No, okay. Let me finish. So I might make the Reno this weekend. I might go, and I might pick the, Caitlin Clark to win her game, and then UConn
The
and
game or the
Purdue to
tournament?
win theirs. Just their
Who plays
game. I
on-
just get past this one.
She plays on Friday.
Okay, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is considered the weekend. The end of the
Gotta
week.
get
We
the-
also
Actually, technically, Friday and Saturday are the end of the week. Sunday is the beginning of the week. So,
Well, leave on time if you want to get the game on Friday. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, don't worry about me.
well, because you were gone 8 hours. And
Anyways, what did you find it, Professor? You should know this by heart, doing that you're the professor. You're the professor of nothing. Jeez. Where'd you get your
USC's also had a couple good quarterbacks, right?
You're not going to count Caleb, are
They
you?
didn't just try. Sure.
Holy smokes. What about Utah? They had Alex Smith, and then they had this guy right here.
You're counting Burrow for LSU. So.
Burrow is an LSU quarterback. That's it. He's an LSU quarterback. They will retire his jersey. That's like saying Shaquille O'Neal is going to Cleveland Cavs uniform. It don't make any sense. obviously he is LSU. If you think about LSU,
So yeah,
I mean, it's not.
I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna say no LSU before Burrow was a lot of defensive fucking players. So that's what I'm gonna.
And
Think.
a lot of
Yeah,
running
you're gonna
backs
think of the
too.
quarterback, but
Yeah, a lot of running backs
yeah.
too.
Also, Oregon's had a couple good ones, man. I don't think they have the track record, but they've had a couple good quarterbacks.
That's true. They had Mariota.
Except
Herbert.
They had Herbert, and this guy right now is supposed to be like a 5-star recruit that they got from like
the
UCLA or something.
UCLA. Yeah, Dante
Yeah.
Moore.
Ooh, man. Oh, we should stop talking about this. I'm getting too excited about college football. This is not good, and there's nothing for me to do. So yeah, I got to focus again. What were we talking about? We're talking about NFL digs. But did you find that Oklahoma? Let's end it with the Oklahoma top 10 if you can get it,
I
Mr.
didn't find
Professor.
it.
no.
Okay, go start with 10.
So
Prove me right, baby. Prove me right.
so 10 is J.C. Watts.
Screw
I have no
you.
idea who that is.
Okay.
9 is Steve Davis. He played at 1973 to 75.
Okay.
So
Not
just
good so
it's
far.
that long ago. Just keep going.
8,
Yeah.
8
No,
is
no, no. I
Thomas
want to hear each
Watt.
one. Okay. Terrible.
7 is Jason White.
Terrible.
6 is Jalen Hurts.
All right. Now we're talking. There's one.
5
Starter.
is Josh Hiupo.
What the
Okay,
freak? Okay.
4 is Jamel
He's ahead of Hurts. It's
Holloway.
fucking bullshit, but okay.
Jamel
3 is
Callaway. Okay.
Bradford.
Okay, of course. And then we got Kyler and
Kyler
Baker.
and Baker.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
and even Kyler and Baker, they were only there for 1 year, right?
I think Baker was there
Not
for
Baker,
2.
but Kyler.
Well, Kyler only started a year. He
Right.
was Baker's backup.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, they?
Yeah.
Oh no. I was saying, they also had Johnny Manziel, but he was Texas A&M, right?
yeah, Texas A&M. Oh, what about Ole
Yeah, so I
Miss?
think. Nah.
Well, they got
they've only had, like,
Eli.
1 or 2. They're nothing great.
They have Eli, and
Yeah,
that's
that's it.
about it.
No, they have the guy who was there. Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
garbage,
who
really.
is it?
I guess NC
Yeah.
State, they've had Phillip Rivers, they had Jacoby Brissett, and they had Russell Wilson.
That's pretty
I
good.
thought,
Great.
well, no, Russell Wilson was Wisconsin.
Oh, he
He
transferred to
went to 3 different
Wisconsin for a
schools.
year.
He transferred every year, which is why it's so amazing that he fucking picked up new offenses every year, and he did well too.
Why? I didn't know you could transfer more than once. Back
So I think
then.
that it depends. Like I think if you're redshirted and if you have an injury year, it's different. But so yeah, so it's gonna be Lincoln Riley, man. Maybe
Yeah, that's a tough one.
for, like
No.
top 5, 6 quarterbacks. Like look at his track record, and he's only getting
Yeah.
more. I mean, shit.
Gosh dang. Oh, what about Tennessee? They have Peyton Manning. Do they have anyone else? Don't they usually have quarterbacks?
They've had some good quarterbacks that had hype, but they dudded out. You know, like.
Well, let's
Jackson
look at the
Dart.
best quarterbacks. Josh Allen. Okay, so that's
Wyoming.
not going to happen. That's not going to happen, of course. Then you got what? Who else?
Mahomes, Texas Tech, right?
Texas Tech. Then don't they got another one? I thought Texas Tech had another one, but I can't remember. Okay, who else? Who else? Another
Because
top
if you look at
quarterback.
like all the big schools, right? Like you're thinking Alabama. Okay, they really besides this last 10 years, they didn't have that. They didn't rely on quarterbacks. Because like before,
Yeah.
the college football was like LSU, right? Alabama, Georgia, where it's like, okay, we're gonna get a good defense, a lot of
Yeah.
skill players, and okay quarterbacks. And the
Yeah.
last 15 years is when they were like, oh no, let's let them air it out, and we'll do the RPOs and shit. And
Well, I'd like
look
to-
at Texas. Texas doesn't have that
Yeah.
great track record of great quarter. They have good quarterbacks. Vince Young,
Yeah.
they're a great quarterback, but nothing major.
You can't do RPO. Yeah.
Just his last couple of years, right? Look at Georgia. Georgia traditionally does not give a shit and rely on a great. Hell, Stetson Bennett wasn't a great prospect. He's a walk-on, right? Just good,
Yeah.
hard-working guy. And
Exactly.
look at Notre Dame. Same thing, Notre Dame, right? They don't have great. It's hard to find great quarterbacks, but it's easy.
Joe
to find great
Montana.
linemen, great defensive players, great skill players. That's more of an easier thing to do for it when
Yeah.
a quarterback. It's a lot harder. Maybe
Steve
Florida
Young,
State, they had a
BYU.
couple good ones. Maybe.
Did they? Who do they have? Warfel? What's his
Warfel,
name?
Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Warfel
Yeah.
was I don't know, but they've had a couple good quarterbacks there at Florida State.
Oof. Yeah, this is really brutal. Florida, you got AR-15. No, not a great quarterback yet. Of course, I don't think he's going to be. But
He won't be healthy enough to find out.
yeah, you might as well put Flacco in right now. Start the season with Flacco and then go from there.
I mean,
Yeah. West Virginia. I remember. What was the name of that quarterback for West Virginia?
Matt
That
White.
man. No, there was another guy that just like
Matt White was
really.
good, dude.
You know who's got more great quarterbacks is Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. They got 2 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, both on the Patriots or something.
I think they
That's-
cut them or something. So
I know they
I don't know
got.
if the Patriots
They
have
had
any
one.
quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, who knows if they have a quarterback? They're going quarterbackless this year. Holy moly! Who's the Patriots quarterback right now?
It's Jacoby.
Jacoby Brissett, that's it.
He's decent. He's not bad. He's decent. He could run that, but
He's
they
a
haven't won
backup.
anything without a top flight quarterback. I mean, because before Tom Brady was Drew Bledsoe, and Drew Bledsoe's not a garbage. He's
Where'd Bledsoe
legit.
go?
Where'd Bledsoe go? I don't know. He's a statue, so I don't know. He might have just like appeared in the
I was gonna
NFL.
say maybe Michigan.
Maybe Michigan. Michigan's got some good quarterbacks because before Tom Brady, there was Tom Brady was the backup for like 4 years, or 3 years, or something like that.
He was the fourth.
Bledsoe
He
went
was
to
the-
Washington State.
He was the 4th quarterback, man, because they had Drew Henson. Drew Henson was like
Yeah, Drew
one
Henson.
of those guys.
He was a
that had
baseball
lot of
player.
hype. Yeah, he got drafted
Yeah.
baseball, and then he was Dallas's backup, but he had a lot of hype. Never did nothing though.
Yeah. So when you look at Ohio State's top 10 quarterbacks, it's like all are like, okay, hey, that's not bad, but not great quarterbacks, but none
No.
like really great quarterbacks. But you're like,
They're
oh
just-
man, those were all.
They're all just athletes. They just recruit athletes. That's all you got to do is run the
But when you
offense
look-
and let the talent take over.
You might want to look at LSU because you got Jamarcus, you got Jade,
Say what you-
Jaden,
Marcus
and
was legit
Burrows.
in NFL, but in college he was dominant, man.
And if Jaden's any good, that would be 3 really good. That would be 3. Wow, you could almost get number ones. But any other
Matt
LSU
Flynn?
quarterback?
And
Matt
two of those were
Flynn.
number 1 overalls, Jamarcus and Burrow.
Exactly, and maybe Jaden.
And Daniels might be 2 or 3.
Oof, yeah.
He's gonna be a
Daniels.
fucking
Who-
bust. JT Daniels.
Oh,
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden
Jaden.
Daniels. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Who knows what happens with him? But what about North Carolina?
No.
Well, they got
same thing.
They got Howell. They got
Howell's
Trubisky,
not
and
gonna
I
be a
guess
great
now May.
quarterback. Howell's
Wow.
not
Drake
a
May.
great quarterback. And
But
Trubisky
wasn't there a
is
black quarterback that was at North Carolina?
No.
I keep
not that
thinking
quarterback.
this. There was one guy that was
Julius
in between.
Peppers.
No.
Come on, dude. Stop playing. He's messing with me.
me.
He's messing with me.
Okay.
Stop playing, dog.
Screw you!
Michael Jordan.
I don't remember who was the quarterback. Gosh dang it.
Those are the only 3 I know.
No, there was one. There was one quarterback. Darn it. He was really good when who was the quarterback when what's his name was at Clemson? Deshaun.
North Carolina.
I don't know.
Yeah. There was someone there that was
They had, like,
pretty
running
good.
Quarterbacks, athletic quarterback, no one major.
You know what they were talking about today? They were talking about Trevor Lawrence is looking over his shoulder that he might not be the guy. I don't see how you could give up on Trevor Lawrence. He's a
To who?
he's a
To Mac
starter.
Jones?
Who saw that? Who said that?
It was Skip Bayless and
Skip Bayless.
what's his
fucking
name?
dumb.
Skip Bayless and Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, I don't trust Skip Bayless. All he does is talk shit to get ratings. But I mean,
He's
yeah,
got-
he's
he's
not.
got a-
He's not as great as you thought. But who's behind
Yeah.
him? Fucking
Mac
stupid.
Jones.
No.
Yeah, Mac.
Yeah,
I like
Trevor-
Mac Jones, but come on.
But Trevor Lawrence is not going the route of Aaron Darnold. I mean, I couldn't imagine that. I think that
No, it's too early to tell.
Aaron Darnold got
Aaron Donald would love to have the career Lawrence has had right now because he hasn't.
what's the
He's like
BYU quarterback?
16.
Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson. So is he going to be Zach Wilson?
No,
He's already better than
that.
Zach Wilson.
He's better than
Why?
Darnold was too. What do you mean why? Because he started for 3 years and he's a premier starting quarterback. When you look at that team, you're not saying like, oh well, they're okay with him. No, he's probably the best player they have, and you're game planning around him.
I think if you put Zach Wilson on a different team, maybe like Minnesota, that he would do a lot better than he would
Zach
with
Wilson
that
might not
Jets
even
team.
get another chance on another team. That's how bad he was. And I like him.
Hey.
I like his.
But they shoved him into the limelight, and I think he needed to develop, like we always
I
say,
agree.
right?
I agree. I think you should sit your no matter how fucked up your team is, no matter how good the
Yeah.
quarterback is. If you sit your quarterback down, it's a better time. They've seemed to have a better chance of adapting and learning. And also,
Yeah, well, the
a
thing-
lot of these, yeah, go ahead.
The thing about this Bears team is now that you went and got Keenan Allen, it's game time for Caleb. Sorry. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing.
It's
They
not
should have
gonna-
just held off on
It's
Keenan.
not going to hurt his career to have him sit for half the season. So
Yeah, maybe half the season. I mean, at the minimum, just to learn and get his feet wet. Maybe
it's a
come
whole
in for a
different- It's a
couple.
whole different game, man. You know.
Who's the backup?
I don't know.
I don't
they had
know.
That one white kid last year who they were starting over Fields. Remember? He was all right.
Oof. Yeah, Chase. Was it Chase?
No. Some weird white kid he's from Chicago or something. He did good, but I don't know his name.
Yeah. Well, you know who did good was the backup for the Browns. That guy was freaking amazing. His stock went way up. He beat
All the
the 49ers.
All the Browns quarterbacks did good except Deshaun Watson.
He single-handedly beat the 49ers with pure intelligence and grit. And he just took over that game and he destroyed the 49ers.
Hey, how
Do you
about
remember that
They
game, Professor?
had Deshaun Watson.
I don't know if
Trevor
he took
Lawrence.
over, but he did all right. PJ, what's his name? Was it PJ Walker or PY?
Yes,
something
PJ
something
from
Walker.
Penn State.
I think it's
PJ
PJ 49er killer.
It's PJ Walker.
Yeah, that's what I remember him as. Yeah, because he
remember
took
Mo-
over that
I
game.
remember
We lost
Moody,
money.
I remember Moody missing the field goal at the last
Yeah.
second. I remember that.
Yeah, he did. He's
Yeah.
a high prospect.
Well, the game management was terrible. And if you're looking for anything, you know what the Bills should have done? They should have said, "Here's Stephon Diggs. Give us your kicker. We don't want
A lot of
anything.
teams-
Give us your
A lot
kicker."
of teams could have took Stephon Diggs for a second round pick. Like, I mean, hell,
For a kicker.
a second round pick this year. It's crazy.
Bro, if they had a kicker, they would have won that playoff game. No doubt about it.
Hey, speaking of kickers, did you see the UFL, whatever the fuck that league is, this weekend?
So he made
I
like a
did.
64-yarder or
64
something.
Oh.
back to back.
And then he
was
prayed. He
kicking-
gave all the glory to God,
He
baby.
was kicking from the opposite side of the 50, dude. That's insane. And then they iced him.
It-
Then he made the
if
second
you-
one again too.
Yeah, but if you watch the preview, it's Angels in the outfield. Then Angel took that about like 10 more yards. If you watch
That
the
guy-
preview, there's like
he
a
said-
light.
He was on Pat McAfee show. He said he hasn't kicked field goals since he was in high school.
Yeesh. Well,
Yeah,
he's going to be playing in the
yeah.
NFL pretty soon.
They used him as punter and like a kickoff specialist, but that's 64
Well,
yards back to back.
Well,
That's crazy.
he's going to the NFL. No doubt about it.
Yeah,
you know,
they
even if-
go through kickers so many times, yeah, he's already going to be on the short list now. So good for him.
Yeah, especially because the NFL is that kind of league that says if you don't get this guy because he did something once, you better, you lose your job. It's
Especially
so
kicker,
stupid.
right?
Yeah, you get more credit for picking up someone and, in the draft that's like exciting people
Who's
are
the-
talking about.
The Bills kicker, his name's Bass, right?
Yeah, his name is
Good.
Drop the B.
Nah, he's a good kicker, right?
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. And all the stupid Bills fans are like, "Oh, let's sign this kid." It's like, okay, because he made 2 kicks. They're so dumb.
You got to go get that guy from the 49ers, Jose Cortez. Who is that
He
guy?
sucked. Yeah, he fucking sucked.
Oh,
soccer
Mexican
player?
guy.
If you're Mexican, he was an embarrassment to be like, we finally got one in the NFL, and he sucked.
Freaking guy can't kick the
He
ball,
was
and you're
like
Mexican.
He was like 60%. It's like you when he kicked that, I'd be like,
You
He's
mother effer.
it's like a flip a coin. He's gonna make it or miss it. In his
I remember-
defense, he probably never
What?
ever played football with a football before in his life. He's always kicking soccer balls.
That in his defense, he was probably trying to learn the language at the same time, and he didn't know when to kick the ball. So, and I remember watching that game, and as he was about to kick it, I was like, "Pooh,"
He sucked. But yeah, Moody
What
sucks
is
too, man. He misses a lot of kicks for being a high pick.
Yeah, no, you can't. You got to get a good kicker on your team. I don't know why, but it's more valuable now than it's ever been. Don't you think?
For field goals, yeah, but they're eliminating the kickoff, so we'll see with that.
No. They just changed the rule. Kickoffs are going to get great because they're going to be like 20 yards apart, the offense and the defense. They're going to run into each other, allow the guy to catch the ball and get a running start. Because you know how when they kick off the ball, it's like they're running so far to hit each other that's causing concussions. Well, now they're not going to run as far from each other. So they just changed the rule.
It's like the XFL or something like that. Now.
Exactly like the XFL. But yeah, that should be.
It's exciting when it's done.
I think it's gonna mess up the game because you're just changing the rule too drastically. You know,
We'll see.
you're gonna have all
Alright,
these
I gotta
kickoff
get off.
returns. Oh, me too. All right, guys. Any last words, Professor?
No,
I mean,
that's all.
Ace.
I think we.
No, man, sorry, missed most of the podcast.
Oh, it's okay. I forgive you.
But yeah, man, I think
Hello?
that as far as the trade goes, right, I think this has more of a probability to go bad for Houston than it does for the Bills. So
Absolutely. All right, Ace. Any last words for you, Professor?
I think we hit everything on the coffin, bro. Nail on the coffin.
Amen. Any last words for you, Mac?
It's doing it again. Big Daddy.
All right, awesome. All right, well, that's it for the show. I'll see you again. All right, player. Peace.
All right,
Hit that
peace.
subscribe. Bye.